Hey there, Internet, and welcome to 5 ways we can make Canada better. So, the first way we can make Canada better is by offering some form of a tax credit or something back to people who choose to either get a gym membership or maybe wear a pedometer and go walking and doing lots of physical activity. Reason being, it's actually shown that exercise is the best thing that you can do for your health. That being said, if more people were physically fit and active and actually doing something as simple as walking, we would actually have lots of savings on our healthcare costs. Our hospitals, our clinics, things like that would save a lot of money if people were actually physically active. So why don't we have some form of a tax credit in place? Why don't we have some form of, motivation financially from the government to get people to be active? It just seems so simple and easy. So that's number one. Number two, let's ban supermarkets from being allowed to throw out their food and make them donate that to food banks. There's lots of people that are starving that need the support of places like food banks that don't have, all the finances that everyone else has to be able to get by. So why not take the stuff that people are just throwing out, even when it's not bad, but they are still throwing it out? Why don't we set it up so they have to donate that to food banks all across Canada? That just seems crazy that we don't already do that. There's so much waste that takes place in those environments. And I'm not to say it's all of them. There are some that do donate. But I mean, it should be all of it. Like, if it's still good, if it's still edible, we should be able to donate that. That's number two. Number three, why don't we have resealable bags for all food that you purchase? When I go to the store and buy something, why don't the chips that I buy or whatever it be, why don't they all come in resealable bags? That just seems crazy to me. It just speeds up the pace at which stuff goes stale or it, doesn't taste as good anymore. So why not enforce it to say, okay, all food that can be stored in a bag should be sealable? I think that's a no-brainer. So the fourth, I think we need to start looking at wages in a different way. We need to start looking at offering people living wages. And I don't just mean this in the sense of like, okay, everyone gets minimum wage. I mean, regionally, different places require different wages if you want to actually survive, if you want to have food, shelter, water, and internet, because I do pretty much consider that a right. You need those types of things if you want to get by in the modern day. But the cost of that, the price for that, is different depending on where you are. If you live in Vancouver, Toronto, it's different than it is in Winnipeg or Edmonton or other places. So there should be living wages set up in all these locations, and people should be paid enough to survive. Like, that is just crazy that there's people that are still living in poverty in 2017. I don't think it's that hard. All right, so number 5, in Finland, they have this organization called the Finnish Committee for the Future. And what they do is they look at trends in technology, trends in labor, trends in industry, and they make determinations of their public policy based on what their projections are for the future. Why don't we have one of these? This sounds like the greatest idea on the planet. Let's plan for the future. Let's not just plan for the next 4 years to make sure that, your political party gets elected again. Let's actually plan and look at this over 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. Let's make some policy that actually can benefit people long term and not just looking at short term benefits. Anyway, those are my 5 ideas for how we can make Canada better. They're pretty simple, and let me know what you think or if you have any ideas. Until next time, thanks for watching.